Hi, everyone. This is your host, Maheen, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast, where we're ready to dive into the critical impact that small enterprises have on our local economies. Today, we are zeroing in on the green revolution in the business world and its significance for entrepreneurs across the nation. Joining us is Dan Balaban, the co founder and CEO of Greengate, an innovator in the Canadian renewable energy landscape. From his early days as a computer science student to becoming a leading figure in energy transition, Dan has spearheaded projects that significantly contribute to Canada's sustainability goals. Let's explore his insights and experiences in transforming the energy sector. Good afternoon, Dan, and it's fantastic to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, and thanks for having me.
We're quite thrilled to delve into your rich experience and really discuss the future of renewable energy. Now, before we begin to do that, let's kind of learn a bit more about your entrepreneurial journey because, we always love to start with the roots of our guest. So tell us, what sparked your interest in renewable energy and led you to establish Greengate?
I was born in Toronto, but I moved to Calgary when I was a kid, and I grew up in Calgary, which is at the doorstep of the Rocky Mountains, phenomenal natural beauty here, and that kind of gave me interest in environmental issues from a fairly young age. But Calgary is also the center of Canada's energy industry. Oil and gas is something that dominates our economy to this day, and so that I've got exposure to the energy industry as well. And out of school, moved back to Toronto for school. Went to the University of Toronto, got a degree in computer science. Started my career in technology consulting, working for a couple big consulting firms. And what I was doing at the time is helping companies um, implement this new technology called the internet to improve their businesses. So going back a ways, but I left consulting in my mid 20s to start my first company. It was an oil and gas software company called Roughneck, and it was really to help oil and gas companies manage various operational challenges, including the reporting of their greenhouse gases. And this goes back, way to the early 2000s. So that gave me early insight into what I could see as the looming environmental challenges that the energy industry would be facing.
Right.
And had a successful exit from that company at the age of 30, and with my own capital, started Greengate 17 years ago with my brother Jordan to try to prove that large scale renewable energy could work in Alberta and Canada.
That's amazing. Now, reflecting on your journey from being a tech enthusiast to renewable energy pioneer, what were the key moments that really shaped your career path? Or I should say, like, what role did your educational background play in your professional evolution?
So I've always been interested for whatever reason in things that are disruptive. I've never really been that interested in being involved in the status quo, or businesses that are in status quo. Just always been attracted to disruptive initiatives. Um, I've always had a really tremendous fascination with technology from the time I was a kid. I taught myself how to program a computer when I was, I think, 9 or 10 years old. I just something that I had a natural interest in.
Right.
Um, and so did my degree in computer science from the University of Toronto, which is, great foundation to start my career in technology consulting, like I mentioned. But I could see, some similarities between technology and, what I'm doing today in renewables. Just like, the internet changed the way, we communicate and conduct business. I see the energy transition in renewable energy, changing the way we consume energy and operate our industry. So I see similar types of disruptive elements to it, and it's really exciting technology. I wouldn't say it's brand new technology. The technology is leading edge, but
Mhm.
it's commercially proven, and really enjoy the work that we've done to prove what's possible in Alberta, in the country, and to the world. What's possible with these latest greatest renewable technologies.
And it's quite inspiring to hear how your passion and education, they both converge to really propel you into renewable energy landscape or leadership, I should say. Now navigating from oil and gas to renewables is no small feat. I mean, especially in the regions traditionally dominated by oil. Um, Dan, what prompted the shift towards renewable energy, and how did you approach the significant pivot in your career?
So, like I said, I started my career in technology. Was work, I had a software company that I had a successful exit out of when I was 30, and one of the things. So, what our software did is we helped oil and gas companies with a bunch of different problems. One of them was trying to get a handle on these new greenhouse gas reporting requirements that were emerging. So, I look at energy is not just oil and gas. Energy is, all the energy we need to power our world and our society, and it can come from, all sorts of sources. I could see, some potential challenges on the horizon for oil and gas with these tightening environmental regulations. And, when I had an exit from that software company at the age of 30, I knew that the next thing I wanted to do was something that would leave a positive, lasting environmental legacy, and also try to work within the energy sector. So I always saw the move to renewables as a natural one because just like I'd worked in oil and gas technology for a while, I saw renewables as just another form of energy, just one that's more environmentally responsible and sustainable. A lot of transferable skills. Um, and I had my own capital at the time to invest. It was definitely a lot more challenging than I ever would have expected it when I started the business. But I think every entrepreneurial venture ends up being a lot more challenging than one expects going into it.
Your experience really provides a valuable blueprint for other entrepreneurs that are really looking to pivot their business models towards more sustainable practices. Now, on that note, I will want to also kind of connect with our listeners. Listeners, as we just heard from Dan, transitioning industries, especially from the traditional sectors like oil and gas to renewable energy. I mean, it's not just a change; it's a bold statement about the future. This shift really underlines the necessity of adaptability in business. So think about questions such as how ready are you to pivot towards the opportunities of tomorrow in your own ventures. Now, Dan, we'd love to kind of understand a lot more about the community and environmental impact because your projects not only generate energy, but they also play a significant role in community building and environmental conservation. Can you please discuss the impact of projects like Travers Solar on local communities and the environment?
So one of the projects that my company Greengate developed over the last number of years is now the largest solar project in the country. A project called Travers Solar, um, almost a $1 billion project. 1.3 million solar panels spread across more than 3,000 acres in southern Alberta. It's really a phenomenal project. There's a number of benefits to a project like that. So it's obvious that, or it'd be obvious to most, that it produces significant environmental benefits because it takes sunlight and converts it directly into electricity without burning anything, without creating any emissions. Really quite an amazing technology. But for the communities that are fortunate enough to host these projects, there's tremendous benefits. There's benefits to the local landowners who earn significant income associated with hosting the project on their lands. There's tremendous benefits to the local community in terms of contributions to the tax base. So rural municipalities, earn taxes off these really large investments in the municipalities. Millions of dollars. Um, and so that's tremendous. There's tremendous number of jobs that were created. A project like Travers created almost 1,000 construction jobs. While it was under construction. Long-term jobs for operations. The indigenous communities in the area. also benefit, in terms of, creating jobs on site and, potentially full-time jobs during operation. So it really is, an example of a win-win, win for the economy and a win for the environment.
Yeah, it's really inspiring to see and hear how renewable energy projects, such as the one you explained, can really foster community growth and environmental stewardship, offering a model for others to follow. And listeners, on that note, the scale and impact of projects like the Travers Solar, they're not just about power generation, they're really about powering change. So, and Dan's work with such ambitious projects shows us the potential of thinking big. So, as you reflect on your own business goals, really consider this. What big moves could you envision that might redefine your business's impact on the community or the environment? Now, before we wrap up, Dan, considering your remarkable journey and the profound impact of your work, could you share any final piece of advice for entrepreneurs who aspire to lead in the renewable energy sector or any sector that are looking to make substantial impact?
It all starts with a vision. You need to have a vision of where you want to go, and I think the vision needs to be very clear and one that resonates with you. So it starts there, starts with vision. You apply passion to that because the entrepreneurial journey is a lot harder than one would expect. You can't anticipate all the things that will go wrong, and a lot of things that go wrong along the way are outside of your control. So just be prepared for a challenge, and you have the vision. You persevere through the challenges. Um, could have a good chance of being successful.
Thank you, Dan, for sharing such insightful reflections on your path and the transformative projects at Greengate. I mean, your experiences provide a valuable footprint for sustainability and innovation in business. Again, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
To our listeners, we hope this conversation inspires you to consider how you can make a difference in your own ventures. We'd like to extend our gratitude to our guest, Dan Balaban, as well as to our exclusive partner, banking partner, RBC, shipping partner, UPS, exclusive accounting software partner, Zero, email partner, Constant Contact, and hospitality partner, IHG. Don't forget to follow us on our social channels and subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine at canadiansme.ca for more inspiring stories like Dan's. Join us next time for another enriching episode. Until then, keep innovating and pushing the boundaries towards sustainable future. Thank you.